Hello, and welcome to Daily English Whisper. I'm really happy you're here with me today. My name is Alex, and this is a calm place where you can learn English by listening, breathing, and moving forward gently. There is no rush here. No pressure. Just steady progress, one day at a time. Today's episode is called Learn English with Podcast English Listening and Shadowing Practice for Everyday Fluency. And this episode is designed for one clear purpose: to help you feel more comfortable with everyday English. The kind of English people use in real life. The kind you hear in daily situations. The kind you can slowly make your own. If you're listening right now and thinking, I understand some English, but not enough. Or people speak too fast. Or I listen a lot, but I still feel unsure. I want you to relax. You are not behind. And you are not doing anything wrong. Many English learners believe they need difficult lessons to improve. They think they need complex grammar, advanced words, or long study hours. But everyday fluency does not come from difficulty. It comes from familiarity. When English becomes familiar, your brain feels safe. And when your brain feels safe, learning happens naturally. That is the central idea of today's episode. Daily listening and gentle shadowing build everyday fluency. Not fast fluency. Not perfect fluency. But real fluency that works in daily life. This podcast is not a test. It's not a lesson you must pass. It's a place where English can stay with you while you live your life. You can listen while you rest. You can listen while you walk. You can listen while you do simple things. You don't need full attention. You don't need to stop everything. Listening is enough. Many learners feel tired of studying. They feel tired of correcting themselves. They feel tired of feeling not good enough. If that sounds like you, this episode is for you. Here on Daily English Whisper, we learn English in a softer way. We listen. We repeat gently. And we let the language grow naturally inside us. You don't need to speak fast. You don't need to sound perfect. You don't need to understand every word. Understanding grows slowly. Just like confidence. By the end of this episode, I want you to feel calmer about English. I want you to feel closer to the language. And I want you to feel proud that you showed up today. We'll move slowly. We'll repeat important ideas. And we'll practice listening together. Sometimes I'll invite you to repeat a sentence. If you feel ready, you can repeat. If not, you can just listen. Both are okay. Let's begin with a very simple idea. English is not something you need to control. It's something you can experience. When you listen every day, your brain starts to recognize patterns. Words feel less strange. Sentences feel more natural. Little by little, English stops feeling foreign. And one day, without forcing it, you understand more. You respond more easily. You feel more confident. That's how everyday fluency grows. Not in big jumps, but in small, quiet steps. So before we continue, Take a slow breath with me. Let your shoulders relax. Let your jaw soften. You are exactly where you need to be. This is Daily English Whisper. And this time is for your English journey. Now, let's move gently into how this podcast will help you learn English. I want to start with a simple question. How do people really learn a language? Not in school. Not in textbooks. But in real life. They listen. They hear the same patterns again and again. And slowly, without forcing it, those patterns become familiar. This is why podcast listening with gentle shadowing is so powerful. Podcast learning works because it feels natural. You are not stopping all the time. You are not checking rules. You are letting English flow. And shadowing adds one important thing. It adds connection. Shadowing means you listen to a sentence. And then you repeat it softly, just after you hear it. Not fast. Not perfectly. Just calmly. This helps your ears, your brain, and your mouth work together. Listening alone helps understanding. Shadowing helps fluency. Together, they create everyday English. Let me explain how we'll do this in a very simple way. First, you listen to English like you're listening to music. You don't stop. You don't judge. Then, sometimes, I'll invite you to repeat a sentence. If you feel ready, you repeat. If not, you keep listening. Both choices help you learn. Now, let's try a short example together. Just listen first. I'm listening to English right now. Now, repeat slowly with me. I'm listening to English right now. Good. Let's say it one more time, calmly. I'm listening to English right now. Very nice. Notice something important. You didn't need to think about grammar. You didn't need to translate. You just listened and repeated. That's the power of this technique. Your brain learns through sound and rhythm, not through pressure. Now, I want to tell you something that many learners don't hear enough. It is okay if you don't understand everything. In fact, it is normal. When children learn their first language, they don't understand everything either. They hear sounds. They hear patterns. And meaning comes later. You are allowed to learn the same way. Let's practice that idea with another sentence. Listen first. I don't need to understand every word. Now, repeat slowly with me. I don't need to understand every word. Good. Say it again. I don't need to understand every word. This sentence is important. It removes pressure. And when pressure goes away, learning becomes easier. Podcast learning is especially helpful for everyday English, because it matches how English lives in the world. People speak while walking, while working, while doing normal things. They don't stop to explain every sentence. So when you listen to a podcast, you are training your brain for real life. You are learning how English sounds when it flows. And when you add gentle shadowing, you train your mouth to move with that flow. Think of it like this. Listening is letting English enter you. Shadowing is letting English pass through you. Both are necessary for fluency. And the best part is this: you don't need a special moment to practice. You can listen while you clean, while you walk, while you rest. Even 5 minutes is enough. Some days, you will feel focused. Some days, you will feel distracted. Both are okay. Your brain is still learning. What matters is that English stays present in your day. Here on Daily English Whisper, we don't rush learning. We repeat ideas. We slow down speech. We create a safe rhythm. Because safety creates confidence. And confidence creates fluency. Before we continue, let's do one more short repetition together. Listen first. Everyday English becomes easier with daily listening. Now, repeat slowly with me. Everyday English becomes easier with daily listening. Very good. You are doing exactly what you need to do right now. Listening. Repeating. Staying present. In the next part, we'll talk about the main problem many learners face with everyday English, and how podcast listening helps you move past it without stress. Stay with me. You're doing well. Now, let's talk about the main problem many learners face with everyday English. This problem is very common, and it can feel frustrating. The problem is this: everyday English sounds simple, but it feels fast and confusing. You might understand English in lessons. You might understand clear examples. But when you hear English in daily life, in conversations, podcasts, or videos, it feels different. People connect words. They speak naturally. They don't stop. And your brain thinks, I know these words, so why don't I understand? If this has happened to you, I want you to know something important. You are not bad at English. You are missing exposure to real, flowing English. Everyday English is not difficult because of vocabulary. It's difficult because of speed, rhythm, and connection. Words are not separate. They move together. And this is where podcast listening helps so much. Podcasts train your brain to stay with English, even when it doesn't stop. You learn how sentences connect. You learn how ideas flow. And when you listen again and again, your brain starts to predict what comes next. That prediction is the beginning of fluency. Let me explain this in a simple way. At first, English feels like noise. Then, it feels like sound with a few words. Then, it feels like meaning. This process takes time. And that's okay. The mistake many learners make is trying to understand everything immediately. They stop the audio. They rewind. They translate. And learning becomes stressful. But everyday English does not ask for control. It asks for presence. Listening without stopping helps your brain relax. And a relaxed brain learns better. Shadowing helps even more. When you repeat short parts of what you hear, your brain connects sound and movement. You don't just hear English. You feel it. Let's do a short example together. Listen first. I'm just getting ready for the day. Now, repeat slowly with me. I'm just getting ready for the day. Good. Even if you didn't understand every word, your mouth still practiced English. That practice matters. Now, I want you to hear this clearly. You do not need to fully understand everyday English to benefit from listening to it. Understanding grows after familiarity. First, your brain learns the rhythm. Then, meaning becomes clearer. Think about music. You don't understand every lyric the first time you hear a song. But after hearing it many times, the words feel familiar. English works the same way. Everyday fluency grows when English stays around you, not when you force it. Let me give you a sentence to repeat. That can help your mindset. Listen first. I'm learning to understand English naturally. Now, repeat slowly with me. I'm learning to understand English naturally. Very good. This sentence reminds you to be patient with yourself. When you listen to a podcast like this one, you are training your brain to stay calm with English. You are teaching it. It's okay not to know everything. And that feeling keeps you learning. If this episode is helping you feel less stressed about everyday English, you can gently support Daily English Whisper by liking the episode and staying with me until the end. That small action helps this calm learning space reach more people who need this kind of practice. Now, let's move forward. In the next part, I'll share the first simple way to use podcast listening every day, so everyday English starts to feel easier and more familiar. Now, let's move into the first simple way to make everyday English feel easier through podcast listening. This first way is gentle, realistic, and very powerful. The first way is this: listen to English every day at the same moment. Many learners think motivation is the problem. But often, the real problem is decision fatigue. Every day you ask yourself, when should I practice? What should I listen to? How long should I study? These questions create pressure. And pressure makes learning feel heavy. So instead of deciding every day, we give English a fixed place in your routine. A moment that already exists. For example, when you wake up, when you make coffee, when you walk, when you rest at night. You don't add English to your life. You attach English to something you already do. Let me explain what this looks like. Imagine every morning you make coffee or tea. While you wait, you press play on a short English podcast. You listen for 2 or 3 minutes. That's it. No planning. No stress. This moment becomes your English moment. And when English has a place, your brain stops resisting. Let's practice a sentence you might hear in that moment. Listen first. I'm starting my day with English. Now, repeat slowly with me. I'm starting my day with English. Good. Say it one more time, calmly. I'm starting my day with English. Very nice. This way works because it creates consistency without effort. You don't need to feel motivated. You don't need energy. You simply follow your routine. Some days, you may listen longer. Other days, only one sentence. Both are enough. What matters is that English appears every day. When English shows up daily, your brain begins to expect it. And what the brain expects, it accepts. That acceptance is the beginning of fluency. You can do the same thing at night. Before sleeping, you listen to a calm English voice. You don't analyze. You don't repeat if you're tired. You just listen. This helps English stay familiar and gentle. Even passive listening counts. Now, let me say something important. You do not need full attention for this to work. Your brain learns through repetition, not intensity. Listening while tired still helps. Listening while distracted still helps. English is still entering your system. Think of it like sunlight. You don't need to stare at the sun for plants to grow. They grow because sunlight is present every day. English works the same way. Let me give you another short sentence to repeat. Listen first. English is part of my daily routine. Now, repeat slowly. English is part of my daily routine. Very good. When English becomes routine, it stops feeling like study. It feels normal. And normal things are easier to continue. You don't ask yourself every day if you should brush your teeth. You just do it. That's the relationship we want with English. Not excitement. Not pressure. But calm repetition. This first way is the foundation of everything else. Once English has a fixed place in your day, listening becomes easier. Shadowing becomes easier. And understanding grows naturally. Now that you understand this first way, let's move to the next part. In the next part, I'll show you how to listen in a relaxed way. That helps your brain understand everyday English without stopping, translating, or feeling overwhelmed. Stay with me. You're doing great. Now, let's move to the second simple way to train everyday fluency with podcast listening. This way is especially important for understanding real, flowing English. The second way is this: listen without stopping or translating. Many learners believe good listening means stopping the audio, checking words, and translating sentences. But this habit can actually slow your progress. Why? Because everyday English does not pause for translation. In real life, people speak and continue. They don't wait for you to understand every word. And your brain needs practice staying calm while English keeps moving. Podcast listening helps you train this calm. When you listen without stopping, your brain learns something very important. It learns to focus on meaning, not individual words. Let me explain this gently. In your own language, you don't hear every word clearly. You hear ideas. You hear emotions. You understand the situation. English works the same way. But many learners listen to English with tension. They try to catch everything. And when they miss something, they feel frustrated. That frustration blocks learning. So we change the goal. The goal is not understand everything. The goal is stay with the sound. Let me give you an example. Listen to this sentence. I was thinking about that earlier today. Now, repeat slowly with me. I was thinking about that earlier today. Good. Maybe you didn't understand every word perfectly, but you understood the feeling. Someone is talking about the past, about a thought, about something personal. That is enough. When you listen to a podcast like this, try to let sentences pass. Don't stop the audio too often. Don't rewind every time you feel unsure. Your brain is smarter than you think. It learns by exposure. At first, English may feel like noise. Then, it feels like familiar sound. Then, meaning becomes clearer. This process takes time. And that's okay. Let me share an important truth. Understanding comes after familiarity, not before. You don't need to understand English to become familiar with it. You become familiar first, and understanding follows. This is why daily podcast listening works so well. You hear the same types of sentences again and again. You hear common verbs. You hear everyday structures. And slowly, your brain says, I've heard this before. That recognition is progress. Let's practice another sentence together. Listen first. I didn't catch everything, but that's okay. Now, repeat slowly with me. I didn't catch everything, but that's okay. Good. Say it one more time. I didn't catch everything, but that's okay. This sentence is not just English practice. It's a reminder. Learning does not need control. It needs patience. Now, I want you to imagine this. You're listening to this podcast while walking. You hear a sentence you don't fully understand. Instead of stopping, you keep walking. You keep listening. Your brain stays relaxed. And because it stays relaxed, it keeps learning. This relaxed listening is very powerful for everyday fluency. You are training your brain for real life, not for tests. Some days, you'll understand more. Some days, less. Both are normal. What matters is that you continue. And if you feel comfortable, you can gently support Daily English Whisper by liking this episode and staying with me until the end. That small action helps this calm learning space grow and reach more learners who need it. Now, let's move forward. In the next part, I'll show you another simple way to combine listening and shadowing, so everyday English starts to feel easier in your mouth, not just in your ears. Stay with me. Now, let's move to the third simple way to build everyday fluency with podcast learning. This way brings listening closer to speaking. The third way is this: shadow short parts, not whole sentences. Many learners think shadowing means repeating everything perfectly. They try to repeat long sentences. They feel lost. And they stop. But shadowing does not need to be big to be effective. In fact, short shadowing works better. When you listen to a podcast, you don't need to repeat the full sentence. You only repeat a small, useful part. One phrase. One idea. One rhythm. This keeps your brain relaxed and your mouth comfortable. Let me show you how this works. Listen first. I'm just trying to stay consistent. Now, we don't repeat the whole sentence. We repeat a short part. Repeat with me. Stay consistent. Good. Let's try it again. Stay consistent. Very nice. This small phrase is powerful. You can use it in many situations. Short shadowing like this helps your mouth learn English sounds without feeling tired or stressed. Another example. Listen first. I usually listen while I'm walking. Now, repeat just the important part. While I'm walking. Repeat slowly. While I'm walking. Good. When you shadow like this, you are training fluency, not memory. Your brain learns how English feels when it moves. And because the practice is short, you don't feel resistance. You can do this while listening to a podcast naturally. You listen. You notice a phrase you like. You repeat it once or twice. Then you continue listening. You don't stop the flow. This is very important. Shadowing should not break listening. It should support it. Some days, you may shadow many small phrases. Other days, only one. Both are enough. Let me give you another example. Listen first. It helps me relax. Now, repeat slowly. It helps me relax. Good. That's it. You don't need more. These short phrases slowly become familiar. And when they become familiar, they start to appear naturally when you speak. You don't force them. They show up. This is how everyday fluency grows. Not by repeating everything, but by collecting small, useful pieces of English. Let me say something important here. You are not behind if you only shadow a little. You are not slow if you repeat only one phrase. Consistency matters more than quantity. Short shadowing keeps English friendly. And friendly English stays with you. If this way feels helpful, you can leave a simple comment and share which phrases you like to repeat the most. And stay with me until the end, because the final ways will help you turn listening and shadowing into very small daily habits that feel easy and natural. You're doing great. Now, let's move to the next part, where we'll connect everyday English directly to your daily actions and routines, so fluency grows without effort. Now, let's move to the next way to turn everyday English into something you can use naturally. This way connects English directly to your daily actions. The next way is this: link what you hear to what you are doing. Many learners listen to English in a separate space. They study. They practice. Then they return to life. But everyday fluency grows faster when English lives inside your actions. When you hear English while you do something, your brain connects language with movement. That connection is very strong. Let me explain with a simple example. You're walking. You hear a sentence like, I'm heading home now. Listen first. I'm heading home now. Now, repeat slowly with me. I'm heading home now. Good. Your body is moving. Your ears hear English. Your mouth repeats. Your brain connects all three. This makes the sentence easier to remember and easier to use later. You can do this with many daily actions. When you cook, you might hear, I'm making something simple. Repeat with me. I'm making something simple. Good. When you clean, you might hear, I need to finish this. Repeat slowly. I need to finish this. Very nice. These sentences are not special. They are everyday English. And that is why they work. When English describes what you are doing, it feels useful. And useful language stays in your mind. You don't need to stop what you're doing. You don't need to concentrate deeply. You just let English join your life. This reduces effort. And reduced effort keeps learning alive. Another important thing. You don't need to create sentences yourself at first. You can borrow them. You hear a sentence in the podcast. You repeat it. Your brain stores the pattern. Later, when you are in a similar situation, the sentence appears naturally. This is how fluency grows without forcing it. Let me give you another example. Listen first. I'm taking a short break. Now, repeat slowly. I'm taking a short break. Good. This sentence might not feel important now. But one day, you'll use it without thinking. That's real progress. Now, here is something very important. You don't need to speak all the time. Sometimes, just listening while doing something is enough. Your brain is still making connections. Movement plus listening is powerful. That's why podcasts are so effective. They fit into real life. Walking, cleaning, resting. You don't need to change your life to learn English. You let English join your life. That's the difference. If this way feels helpful, notice which actions work best for you. Walking, cooking, resting. Choose one. That's enough. Now, in the next part, we'll take all these ideas and break them into very small daily habits that you can use even on your busiest days to keep everyday fluency growing gently. Now, let's gently turn everything you've practiced into very small daily habits. These habits are simple. They are light. And they fit into real life. You don't need extra time. You don't need extra energy. You only need to return to English in small moments. One helpful habit is one short listening moment in the morning. When you wake up, before checking messages, you listen to a few minutes of English. You don't repeat if you don't want to. You just listen. This wakes up your English ear. Another gentle habit is short shadowing while you move. When you walk, clean, or wait, You listen to English and repeat one small phrase. Not a full sentence. Just a phrase that feels useful. For example, I'm getting ready. I'll do it later. It feels better now. These phrases are easy to repeat and easy to remember. Another simple habit is listening without pressure on tired days. Some days, you won't feel like repeating. That's okay. You just listen. Listening still builds familiarity. And familiarity leads to understanding. Another helpful habit is saving one phrase you like. When you hear a phrase that feels natural or useful, you remember it. You might repeat it once or twice later in the day. That's enough. Another gentle habit is one sentence before sleep. At night, you listen to one calm sentence. You repeat it softly. Then you rest. For example, today was simple, and that's okay. Let's practice that one together. Listen first. Today was simple, and that's okay. Now, repeat slowly with me. Today was simple, and that's okay. Very nice. These habits don't require motivation. They don't require planning. They work because they are small. And small things are easier to repeat. You don't need to do all of them. One or two is enough. What matters is that English stays close to you. And when English stays close, fluency grows quietly. You don't notice it every day. But one day, you realize something. English feels easier. Listening feels calmer. Speaking feels more natural. That is everyday fluency. Now, let's move to the final part. And bring everything together. With calm clarity and encouragement. Today, you practiced learning English with a podcast. Not through pressure. Not through difficult lessons. But through daily listening and gentle shadowing. You learned that everyday fluency grows when English stays close to your life. You learned that you don't need to understand everything. You learned that short shadowing is enough. And you learned that connecting English to daily actions makes learning easier. All of this leads to one simple idea. Here is today's secret sentence. Everyday fluency grows from small daily listening. Let's say it together, slowly. Everyday fluency grows from small daily listening. Very good. You don't need to change your whole routine. You don't need long study sessions. You don't need perfect focus. You only need to return. You can listen while you walk. You can repeat a short phrase while you rest. You can let English be present without effort. When you do this, English stops feeling far away. It becomes familiar, comfortable, normal. And when English feels normal, understanding grows, confidence grows, fluency grows. I want you to remember this. You are not behind. You are not slow. You are learning in a natural way. And I am proud of you for showing up today. For listening. For practicing gently. If this calm, supportive style helps you, you can subscribe and continue learning with Daily English Whisper. We will keep practicing together. Slowly. Kindly. Every day. Thank you for spending this time with me. This is Alex, wishing you calm listening and steady fluency. I'll see you in the next episode.